Great artists always put themselves into their work.
This is the Horrible Film School. Take a seat and slowly rip open your Trapper Keepers. I am Chris, and I'm here with Professor Hootie.
What's up, fellas? Excited to talk about some stop-motion action today.
We also have with us the ashiest man in town, Mr. Nasty, a.k.a. Joey.
Head left 2 millimeters. Who's ready to embark on a deep dive into the dirty, filthy, cutthroat world of stop motion?
Joey would want his woman to yell at him like Mom does in this film.
Oh,
Like when
first
he's making
of all,
love,
not
just
at all.
shift it to the left.
I need a mouse. I need someone that ain't gonna speak unless spoken to. You know what I mean?
Is that what mice do?
How progressive of you.
Look, speaking of mice, let me go ahead and derail this motherfucker for everybody listening. I gotta tell y'all a wild ass story.
I don't like rats,
go.
man.
Story time, story corner.
There was a fucking bat in my house last night.
No, that's kind of cool. I like that.
A goddamn fruit bat or vampire bat. Oh, it's motherfucker. All right, I was working on my notes and shit, right? Getting ready.
Did it have a blonde mullet? That's the real
no, this thing was a creature of the night. But I was getting ready. You know how I do. And I keep hearing this clicking sound throughout the house. I get home, I don't know, from work about 5:30, something like that. And I'm hearing this clicking sound.
Like the Predator.
For like 3 hours. But it's intermittent. It's intermittent. It's like I'm only hearing it every, 20, 30 minutes. And I live down in the woods, so I'm thinking, it's a praying mantis, a cicada, some bug or some shit. There's lots of weird sounds down here, right? So I keep hearing this click, and I'm puppy sitting for the guy I work with, right? And all of a sudden, the damn dog starts screaming and hollering. And I'm like, all right, I'm working in the dark and everything, and it's not really, he does that from time to time. And usually the only light source in the house when I'm working on shit is computer screen, my little lamp right next to it. So this barking, it makes me turn around, and I got my headphones on, so he's barking pretty loud for me to hear this shit. And right when I turn around, something brushes by my face. And it takes me back, for a second, because obviously if I'm working on my notes, then I'm high, because I'm taking an edible. The monotony of like typing on the computer and typing notes is just, you know how it is.
Yeah, every day at work. That's me too.
So that first brush, I'm like, what? Was that like a plastic bag or some shit? I'm looking around, and all of a sudden, it comes by again, and it's doing fucking laps in the living room. I guess it's like attracted to the light or some shit, right? I'm in my boxers, and this bitch is soaring around through the air like a fucking Japanese Zero during World War II. Grab a broom and commence the battle with this fucking hellspawn.
Is this on video?
I wish I couldn't take a fucking picture. It wouldn't stop moving.
Should have got your webcam on.
It did stop moving at one point, though.
Cool.
So yeah, eventually I knocked the bitch down, right? And I'm trying to brush it out the door, but he gets back up. Fucking flies by my ear, grazing my cheek like he's a samurai in a fucking anime. And he perches on my fire alarm right there above my bedroom door. So I get the bright idea, I'm gonna burn some papers. Because I'm not getting near this fucking thing. If I get near it, I'm gonna fucking kill it.
Burn some papers. What the
I got some papers. I got some papers and put them in my trash can.
Out of his own house.
And I started burning them, and it fucking set off my fire alarm. And as soon as it did, the some bitch like dive bombed me again, dude. But I was too fucking quick. I busted his ass with that broom, and in one swift motion like Gretzky, I flung his ass out the door into the night. That shit was wild.
So you use like the piercing sound of the fire alarm, like they did in like A Quiet Place.
It was
stun
like
the animal.
It was like that movie Tremors.
You set off the alarm, just trigger like a reaction.
I set off the alarm, and they have echolocation because they're like supposedly blind, and I guess it really hurt its like ears. And this motherfucker, literally like a goddamn movie, like he was in the Lost Boys, unlatched himself and came flying right at my face, and I fucking Matrix style backed up. And while I did that, I took the broom from underneath and swept his ass mid-air and flung him into my goddamn fireplace. Then I swept his ass out the door. He was alive. I didn't kill him.
It's just like the ending of...
I didn't want to kill him. I could have easily killed this sumbitch several times.
Easily, Chris. Don't you think for a second.
The ending of Lost
I could have
You should have
stomped him.
thrown a wooden stake at his chest in the air.
If I thought about it, I would have got some of Hootie's honey and poured it on him. And that would have just immobilized him completely. you know.
Sticky.
But I'm not gonna wait. We know me. I ain't gonna waste honey.
All right, let's hop into it, baby boy. That was a good icebreaker. Today's assignment. Bit of a questionable date here. I'm going to go with the original release date that I ran into in my research. 2023's Stop Motion. The lesson. When the puppets are done with their play, they're put back in the box.
Oh, this movie's got some bangers for quotes. But to contradict you, and much like the character of Ella herself, who is also a puppet, I can only relay information that I read off of IMDb, so I'll be saying 2024.
2024. Yeah, I thought IMDb pointed at 2023. Or maybe Google does. I don't know. Either way.
The release date it has on there is like March of 2024. Even though there was like a limited release in February, like in theaters and shit.
Yeah, I think it got its original release in 2023 with like the horror festivals that pop up in the fall every year. So it's probably where I got it from.
I've seen this poster on the cover of different streaming apps months ago because the poster is so memorable. I obviously didn't watch it before, but
It looks like some Salvador Dali type shit.
I had it pulled up, perusing my watch list on the TV a few days ago. My son saw it, and he was instantly like fascinated with it. Like, Dad, what is that? I was like,
I gotta
nothing.
hold up.
Nothing. We're gonna go watch X-Men '97. Forget you saw that.
How is the X-Men
Awesome
97?
fucking show.
You gotta
It's
let me
really
give him
awesome,
those
dude.
stickers, man. Got to.
The new X-Men is fucking cool, man. It's got the old animation style, but it actually looks good compared to that really, like, in retrospect, garbage-looking 90s stuff.
Hey, is Jubilee in the show?
Yeah, Jubilee's, like, full-fledged X-Men when this one... Well, it
Oh,
picks up
shit.
immediately after the original series ends.
How about my boy Gambit?
Gambit's in there. He's got a thick-ass accent.
Voiced
Thicker
by
than you.
Shannon
Yes.
Tatum, hopefully.
He cracks me up, though. He's, like, shirtless a lot, too, it seems like, through the first 3 episodes.
It's got to be.
But, yeah, this movie was your choice, brother. I'll let you take it over from here.
Yeah. So, Stop Motion 2024, much to the dismay of everyone who thinks it's 2023. They're wrong.
The right people, the correct people.
Let's
who do the homework. Yeah.
let's go ahead and get this ball rolling, shall we? Courtesy of the beautiful people at IMDb, we got what I think is going to be a show first. A first for Horrible Film School. I have a positive and negative review that was submitted on the exact same day.
Whoa.
Was this a streaming release date?
Oh, no,
possibly?
this was a theater limited release they did
Real horror heads.
back at the end of February. So, as always, let's start with the boring positive, and then we'll make our way to the really fun negative. Slow Burn Indie Horror by Slash Productions with an 8 out of 10. Very much a slow burn indie horror effort that won't be for everyone. In fact, I argue this isn't even a horror film. Stop Motion has great performance. Especially the lead, Aisling... God, I'm gonna fucking struggle with this name.
Her name
Aisling
is
Franciasi.
Ashling Franchosi.
Are you gonna... As soon as I say her name anytime during this thing, just say it right behind me.
I'm gonna correct you. Ashling Franchosi.
All right, let me try, then you try. All right. Especially the lead, Aisling Franciasi.
Ashling Franchosi.
There we go. Eerie and spooky scenes, really cool practical effects, and a pretty great climax. Aren't they all? Hired me. Based. The pacing is a little slow at times in the middle, but I was never bored. The movie had a way of conveying information in a way... God damn it, these people, the way they fucking talk. Conveying information in a way where I felt confident in what happened without having an exposition dump explaining everything. Very good movie, and I'll be keeping a lookout for upcoming projects from this director. So, a summation, and not really to put the jump the shark or put the horse before the cart. That climax. How did you guys feel about that climax? We'll get there. We're going to talk about it in depth, but
Yeah, the last 20 minutes. I think it's earned. It definitely is a slow burn up to that point, but it's some pretty cool looking shit there at the end, man.
I can see Hootie as you know that meme of Charlie Day where he's trying to figure out about Pepe Sylvia, and he's got the fucking bulletin board behind
The
him,
red
with all
string going to
with
the
all the
pins.
strings and shit. It's a Hootie trying to figure out what the fuck was going on at the end of the movie.
What are we watching?
Don't you worry, Joy. That's exactly what I was
No,
doing.
no, I was the exact same way, man. I just realized am I just stupid when it comes to fucking movies?
You were genuinely confused about this?
No, not entirely, but in terms of really being able to sit there and grasp what just happened and have like a coherent, all right, this happened, this means this, X, Y, X, Y.
Symbolism.
No, not really. But hey, hopefully you can shed some light on that, being the academic of the group.
Well, it's definitely, like we were saying, there's not a lot of information on the internet out there. So it's, when you say open to interpretation, it's genuinely your interpretation because there's no like right answers out there quite yet.
I'm gonna need some heavy explanation on that ending, but we'll
It
get
would just be my theory.
Speaking of
I guess, is my
exposition, I'm going to
point.
need a lot of exposition.
Expo, baby. So I'm gonna hear about this negativity. I want to get
All
upset.
right, let's get mean. Let's get mean. Boring and Disappointing by Abhishek Durikar, 29127. Gave Stop Motion a 1 out of 10. Stop Motion is one of the worst horror movies I have ever seen. Movie scenes are disgusting. Makes you feel weird. Also, characters in the movie are not interesting. Movie's title should be Stop Motion. Should not be Stop Motion. It should be Stop Movie, because I was waiting for it to end soon.
Fuck, I like that. That was kind of clever.
Apparently this movie is realized as artistic, but very few audiences understand the art behind this movie. For example, its makers. Could not relate to any of the scenes. If you have already purchased the tickets and it's non-refundable, it's okay to let go of your money rather than also wasting your time. But yeah, a divisive movie. I know we say it time and time again about, certain titles being divisive, and here we go. Here's another one. It's always highbrow shit. Or shit that comes off as fucking highbrow.
Yeah, I think it's all about target audience, though, right? We talk about horror. We're trying to figure out what makes the people who love horror so into it, and we always say they're like the most forgiving, lovable audience there is because they'll watch fucking garbage. But if they think you're jerking them around, then they're not gonna like it. They have expectations.
One of you guys want to talk about Robert Morgan, the director of the film?
Chris, you do, buddy.
Oh, whatever you say, I'm going to add on to it. Trust me, I went down a fucking rabbit hole.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get too much into the guy, but he was definitely the only person that I sought out to highlight as far as folks behind the camera, because this is his show. From what I understand, he started working short films as a student into animation, got his big break to make his feature film, and this is what he came up with. One cool note I found about him, he participated in the Sight and Sound Greatest Films of All Time 2022 Directors Poll, which is really fucking cool. Where you have to list your 10 favorite films. He definitely has some good taste. I just highlighted a few that he chose. He had Vertigo, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Taxi Driver, and Mulholland Drive. So it's my type of dude here. He's still new to the game, though, so I didn't get a whole lot of information about him. What else y'all got about him?
He did a lot of shorts. One caught my attention because I know Joey loves the hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, he directed a film called Bobby, yeah. That was a short film.
Yeah.
And,
Hell yeah.
He also did one of the small short stories in the film ABCs of Death #2, segment D.
What was his D for?
D is for deloused.
There you go.
Deloused.
Deloused.
Interesting.
Another big word. Lots of big words this evening.
Interesting.
Dude, I went down a fucking rabbit hole with Robert Morgan.
With Bobby Mogan.
I watched his entire YouTube catalog. Including
all those shorts there?
Including the 2011 short, Bobby Yeah, that you just talked about. It was actually nominated for a 2012 Best Short Animation BAFTA, which is a British Academy of Film and Television Arts. Pretty impressive.
Nice.
And man, I came away just as impressed and confused as I did with his shorts. a couple that stood out to me. Invocation. It's actually really similar to the plot of this movie. And you can see some of the parallels watching that short, as well as another short called The Separation. It's about like conjoined twins and like separating them and the traumatic experiences they go through. I say shorts. His shorts are stop motion.
Oh,
all this stuff, all his
This is the stop
stuff
motion dude,
is
man.
stop motion.
Our fellows across the pond love some stop motion.
Well, I'm telling you, you need to check out.
It's
You talking
unique,
about
man. It's an art
fucking
style.
Wallace and Gromit and all that dumbass shit, Chicken Run and all that fucking garbage.
Chicken Run, baby.
Chicken Run's got Mel Gibson. You
Celebrity
gotta like
Death
Dude,
Match.
this Robert Morgan guy, I subscribed to his channel. And now I'm
we got a
all
fan
about this
now.
fucking dude. That shit was
Are you in his Patreon, man?
That stuff is so fucking cool, man.
I can't get
There
you
was
to let
a-
me borrow $5 and you're in this dude's Patreon.
How about that?
Oh no, he's got an OnlyFans. I was on that.
Oh, he's
shit.
dripping with thirst.
Is it stop motion OnlyFans? That would be fucking sick.
But yeah, man, this guy, he's got a style. His style of stop motion in this movie is literally his style of stop motion, just in general. Like, it's just as creepy. It's just as unique. But yeah, the dude, he's an animator, writer, director, musician even. Dude, one of them, it was called The Afterlife of Lothar Scram. This dude nails his fucking dick to a table. And he's being pursued by a fucking monster. And he like pulls it off and everything. And all this is stop motion. It's so fucking
What is,
crazy, man. You gotta watch this shit.
I need some context on why he would do it to begin with.
I'm sure it's got some other, like, hidden message or some shit behind it, right? It's all visual for me. Just the imagery and the creepiness of it. I really enjoy watching it.
It's like a painter
See-
making a movie, yeah.
Yeah.
When I come to horror, this is too highbrow for me. If I'm running from a monster, the last thing I'm going to do is nail my dick to a table.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's as highbrow as we're saying it is, because it's this guy's style. I don't think he's going out of his way to be pretentious or to be, enigmatic. It's just how he has always like done his,
That's how he tells stories, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I highlighted Mulholland Drive, because last year I did my whole David Lynch, watched everything he's ever made sequentially, and that he's the same way. It's just how he fucking tells stories. It's how they come out of his head. It's all weird, fever dream shit. He's not really trying to create some kind of high art. It's just when he has a story in his head, this is how he gets it out.
Well, the film was written by Mr. Robin King, and, that's something.
That's a female.
He did it. I
That's
think
a
it's
man.
guy.
That's
It's
actually a
guy,
man.
yeah.
I think it's a woman.
That's
It
definitely.
looked like a man when I clicked on his picture.
I don't want to mispronoun him, but I believe it's a man.
Oh, but it's he's friends. He's friends with Robert Morgan. I looked over some of his credits. He's got quite a few credits. But yeah, outside of Mr. Morgan and Mr. King, wanted to highlight Dan Martin. He's the makeup effects, stop motion puppets, and creature suit designer. But yeah, he's working in the same capacity for the upcoming Tarot movie. Tarot,
yeah.
the upcoming Tarot movie, which, while looking kind of meh, it looks to be a banger in terms of creature design.
Some good scares in that trailer.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope.
We know
The
how
fact
that
that it's
goes.
got the fat guy from Spider-Man just throws me the fuck off. I can't see this guy as anything else but like that nerd.
Yeah, Ned, right?
Guy from
the friend.
Always, buddy.
The guy in the chair.
Mr. Martin also worked on Infinity Pool with our boy Mr. Skarsgård. And
There you go,
Mia
Cronenberg.
Goth.
Cronenberg's son. It's seems like a lot of these guys kind of have the same circles, that whole Cronenberg, David Lynch vibe. They all worship at the same altars and
Did you ever see Infinity
carrying
Pool?
that torch. Yeah, I did. It was weird.
How fucking creepy is it when she's talking Jamesy when he's in the bus and shit? Oh my god, dude, that's so creepy. My dick has never been more wanting a turtle and more wanting to be hard. You know what I mean?
You talking
How
about how
about that?
attractive Skarsgård was?
Confused. Oh yeah.
He's a good
What a
looking
conundrum.
man, bro. He's a good looking man.
We've done a lot of talking so far, so I think our audience will forgive us for the next section we're going to cover, our interesting factoids. Hootie, let's get it.
Here we go. First off, there's not a lot, but I did do some research, and let's do a brief history of stop motion.
Oh, cool.
Their very first example of cinematic stop motion is cited as the 1898 short film entitled The Humpty Dumpty Circus, in which the creators used the pioneering technique to bring a toy circus of animals and acrobats to life.
See, now I always thought the first movie was demonstrated in that movie Sleepy Hollow when Johnny Depp has that little bird cage and he gives it to
the cardinal in the cage.
when he gives it to what's her name, Heather Graham.
Christina Ricci?
Oh, Christina Ricci. Excuse me. Sorry, Christina, you're beautiful.
Damn, dude.
Sorry.
You blew that one.
God, she's hot.
That was a bunny right there.
And since we're going through the notes I have, to do a little side piece here to bring in the sports element, when I was a kid, I had a flip book of the NFL icon at the time, Michael Vick.
Mike Vick,
and
baby.
you flipped through it, and you watched him run across the Minnesota Vikings about 70 yards for a touchdown. And I thought that was the coolest little thing that I ever had.
If you play it backwards, you actually see him go to the dog pound.
See, it's just too much.
That one hidden panel. One hidden panel there at the end.
While it might sound extreme, using real meat for stop motion is an actual technique used by stop motion legend. And here we go. Not sure why I included his name here. Jean
Scalabrini!
Let's sound it out.
3 ball.
Sfankmer.
Sfankmer. Okay. Is he French?
I don't see, Chris. Now you're getting too deep. I don't know.
French. If you're not French, I apologize, but thank you for being the creator of this cool-ass stuff.
Real meat's been used in stop motion.
Real meat, yeah. I thought it was a pretty novel idea watching the movie. But obviously, if it's been done before, it's been done before, but it's new to me, so. It
adds a level of gruesomeness that I wasn't prepared for in this film.
Because they highlighted a lot early in the movie. I'm like, what the fuck is with all this meat? They were showcasing meat before it even got put to use. Just flopping steaks in your face. Everyone was doing it in the movie.
I did get kind of hungry watching this film.
I think at one point, she cooks her mom a fucking liver. Like an entire liver.
Oh, people love liver. And the last thing I have here, in the main competition at the 2023 Fantastic Fest, Morgan won Best Director for his work on stop motion.
Yeah, outside from that, budget and box office, I don't know if you got these numbers, Joey, but they're kind of had to do some digging to figure out this as well.
$87.
The box office to date is $804,000. And finding the budget was the hard part because it's not listed anywhere, but I did find the note about it being the 4th largest production funding from the BFI in 2022 at £905,000, which is $1.135 million US.
Whoa!
No, those numbers don't mean anything. This movie, it's a streaming movie. I mean, the streaming deals with Shudder. That's what's going to carry the movie.
Yeah, I mean, you can't account for the money it's making for Shudder, or that Shudder is paying to the filmmakers and producers to carry it for indefinitely.
Like it literally had a limited release. It wasn't like it wasn't released in like
thousands of theaters.
Thousands and thousands for multiple weekends. I think it was probably like 2 or 3 weekends.
Yeah, I doubt it came anywhere within my driving radius in the last 2-3 months or whatever.
I don't know. Every once in a while, what is it? The Red? What's the one that used to be Red Cinemas?
Yeah, they'll get some indie stuff there.
They get a lot of indies.
Some clarification here, because I don't know a whole lot about the streaming world. I know in the Spotify, Apple Music world, music artists make pennies upon minor pennies on a song play.
Yeah.
How does it work on streaming platforms for film or TV shows?
From what I understand, they don't disclose streaming numbers outside of their own metrics, but they pay.
They pay for the right to use the film.
Yeah, they pay you for how long they can use it for, and if it's good enough according to their metrics to keep, then they'll have to pay you again. It's like a renewing contract in a way.
Well, you think about it this way, Hootie. Like, all right, music services, you got Spotify, you got iTunes, you got Amazon Music, Apple, or is it iTunes, Apple Music, whatever. You got like those big 3. Fucking, you got so many when it comes to like visual content. Like you got Hulu, you got fucking Netflix, you got Shudder, you got what's that one?
A&E.
Prime. You got fucking A&E. You got all this other bullshit.
True TV.
There's so many avenues for them to make money off of the streaming aspect of it.
Yeah, and you'll see, like, if you've noticed, like, Warner Brothers owns HBO and Discovery, right? So Max, they'll have, like, Warner Brothers movies on Max, but you'll see those same movies on Netflix for, like, 3 months. They'll be on both. So that's Netflix saying, all right, here's, I don't know, $500,000. Can we borrow your movie for 3 months? It's like they're renting movies from each other now instead of us going to the store to rent a movie. They're renting them from each other. Pretty wild.
If only I can rent WrestleMania 3 on VHS again. Okay.
By God, he hit him with the chair. By God.
But that's definitely like an oversimplified, probably moronic overview of how streaming works.
Indies don't even, they're not made to make money.
I mean, it's made for the sake of art. He got this money from the British Film Institute to make the movie. He didn't get this money from a producer in Hollywood who's trying to make $1 million, you know. This is the government pushing good, and I wouldn't say the government. I don't know if the BFI is attached to the government, but this is a film institute pushing art forward instead of trying to commercialize, trying to make Avatar 3 or some shit.
I'm not going to stand for big government forcing something down my throat, Chris.
I will not have you tell me that I should respect women's rights right here while I'm trying to watch a damn movie. Can I just watch this lady get disfigured in peace? Now give me a cold beer.
In terms of what I have for interesting factoids, nothing at all. However, the movie did inspire me to dive even deeper into the stop motion rabbit hole, and I watched Phil Tippett's Mad God. I know you guys have seen this movie advertised.
I have. I heard it talked up when it first came out, and I have it on my watch list. I never got around to it. I was going to try to slip it in today, but I got wrapped up in kid stuff, so I never had time for it. Is it worth it?
You got wrapped up in being a dad. What an asshole.
Raising a child, you know, all that shit.
If this movie is in any way indicative of how artsy style, like stop motion, is supposed to be executed, then you can see where the director got some of his inspirations as an artist. This Phil Tippett guy, apparently he's the shit. And this movie took forever to make. And it's so fucking good because it's on a scale that's like massive. Like if you watch the movie and you kind of forget that you're watching the stop motion. It's that good, and then you realize, oh shit! Every single frame of this, like 90, it's almost 90 minutes. Every single frame,
every millimeter was hand done.
It's articulated in a way that is precise. It's just it's a marvel to watch it. Honestly.
Was it a half millimeter to the left?
2 millimeter.
The mom ain't in the wrong. The mom is apparently the Michael Jordan of stop motion in this universe.
The greatest of all time.
So
she's the guy who made Mad God.
Imagine if they cut off Michael Jordan's feet. Then this is the Michael.
He's just
Jordan
telling
version.
Scotty what to do. All right, stick your tongue out and say something about this guy's mama. Sounds like we got a stop motion fan. Joe, are you gonna take this up as a hobby?
No, I do not have the patience.
It is cool. It is one of those things, like, you see somebody that does it, like, for fun. You're like, damn, you got a cool hobby. I wish I was cool as you are.
And with that, let's do the damn thing, shall we?
So, the girl runs away through the woods. She finds a house, and she hides in it.
And who's coming for her? Maybe a wolf? Like a Red Riding Hood type thing?
It's a man.
What man?
A man no one wants to meet.
Our story begins with young artist Ella and her ailing mother, Miss Blake, fastidiously at work on the elder's last project, a final stop-motion film. The work is slow and meticulous by nature, but made even more sluggish by Mother Susan's arthritis and domineering temperament. After a night out with friends and a sleepless early morning in with boyfriend Tom, Ella arrives home just in time to be subjected to her mother's overbearance once more. Only this time, the matriarch's pestilent passion for perfection leads to a stroke and subsequently a coma. Unwilling to return to her mother's home, Ella uses Tom's connections as a construction administrator to set up shop in a soon-to-be gutted apartment complex where she vows to complete her mother's swan song.
So you didn't highlight our actress here. Ella is played by, let me say her name for you boys.
Let me do it one more time.
Aisling.
I just want to say Aisling.
Aisling Franciosi, who in 2016 appeared in the HBO series Game of Thrones.
That's Prince Rhaegar's whore, baby.
In the 6th season as Lyanna Stark, and reprised her role in the 7th season, so she is the reason for the entire Game of Thrones as we know it.
She's the reason for the season, brother.
Stark. She was also in 2023's Last Voyage of the Dementor.
Yeah, she was the female lead, man.
She has a really cool look to her. She reminds me of like a 70s actress.
She looks like the girl from 2013's Evil Dead.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I thought the same thing.
Very like, I wouldn't say a timeless face, but as far as horror heroines are concerned, she definitely has that look about her.
You know who she really looks like now that I think about it? Who's the annoying teenager from the Blumhouse Halloween remake?
Annoying teenager.
That's extremely specific.
The one
you're talking about Laurie's granddaughter?
Curtis's granddaughter. She looks like her.
I can't think of her name.
We're just naming out
good reason.
basic brunette.
All these brunettes with long hair who are really skinny. And
you know who they really look like? Anne Hathaway. An uglier version of Anne Hathaway.
Have you ever seen Emma Stone in Poor Things?
Oh, shit.
She was also in Sandra Bullock's The Unforgivable.
Oh, yeah, that banger. What was that about?
What's a Netflix film?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
I got to get that one on my fucking watch list. Sorry,
It was one of those. No, it was
Sandra
one of those.
Bullock is unforgivable.
It was one of those women empowerment films where she was in an abusive marriage and she like learns how to box to beat her old man up.
She like kills him or something.
Yeah.
We had a J-Lo one back in the
Guest
day.
starring Steven Seagal as Sandra Bullock's husband.
Sandra Bullock's ponytail is played by Steven Seagal.
It was a remake of that J-Lo film, which basically had the same plot.
What the hell was it called?
Enough?
Enough.
Yeah, Enough. Yeah.
Oh, I
She goes,
remember
like,
Enough.
MMA on
Trust
his
me, boy.
ass. Kill those wife-beating pieces of shit. The Burning Bed. That's the OG, dog. We got to go back to
Farrah
Farrah
Fawcett, baby.
The Burning Bear.
The Burning Bed.
Bed. She lit that
Bed.
motherfucker on fire. Spoiler
She
alert.
set that motherfucker on fire.
Well, it's kind of in the title.
Spoiler alert for a Lifetime movie from like 1991.
This young lady was born in Dublin and speaks 4 languages, which are Italian, English, French, and Spanish. Pretty impressive.
Good actress. I'll go to the mat for her in this movie. She is great throughout this movie.
What about the mom, Chris? What about her? You gonna leave her out?
The
Just
mom,
'cause she's old?
I thought she was an actress I recognized, but looking through her filmography, she is not someone I've seen before. But she
Her
definitely
name
has
is
that
Stella
look.
Gonads.
I don't even know if that's true, so I'm not going to repeat it.
Well, Stella means star, just so y'all know that.
Star Gonads, okay.
There you go.
But yeah, she's definitely like a typical overbearing mom, and she calls her daughter Poppet, which
Her
of
name
course
is Stella Gonad.
plays into the whole puppet analogies we got going throughout the movie.
She was in The Crown, which is a very popular Netflix show. I think it's on Netflix.
Maybe that's what I saw her in.
She was in one single episode of Midsummer Murders, which is a classic PBS British crime show. I did not know Midsummer Murders has been running consistently since 1977, and she was in one episode.
Even if she isn't like credited all that much for films we know, I think she actually does a great job in this movie. She really comes off as she does well with the just being judgmental, you know, by the way you look, like the look on your face. And
Oh yeah, when she snuck home that first night from being at the boyfriend's or whatever, you could tell like in her tone she's like, Puppet. She's like, little whore, you better get the fuck out of bed. I know you've been sucking off time again.
I don't know why every time I watch a film with this kind of a subcontext, I think of J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. I always get back to that character of just
That fucking
brutal.
perfectionist prick.
not my tempo.
Not my fucking tempo.
Dude, how shit was Tom in this movie?
I felt for Tom in a way.
Tom was fucking cheeks. He called her
He sucked.
Elsa in one scene.
Cheeks, no cap, Chris.
He's another one of those guys. I'm like, surely I've seen you in something before, but looking at his credits, I got nothing.
This is like a whole cast of that guy.
Boy, I got shades of who's that chick?
He looks like a chick.
Lord of the Rings, the elf queen.
Liv Tyler?
Oh,
Galadriel.
fuck me.
Big fan
Galadriel.
chick.
I got shades and chills of Galadriel. during the scene where the mom is telling her not to fucking move. Don't you fucking move an inch. Don't you move a muscle. Don't you blink. When Galadriel denies the ring and her voice gets really like deep and shit. Oh, it was spine tingling. What a performance, man. What a performance by Stella Gonads.
How did you guys feel about the whole like watching the process of stop animation being like done in the movie? Was it cool? Did you have any idea how it was really done before, where they take individual photos like on her MacBook while she's moving shit around? I thought it was pretty cool to see like how the pudding's made.
I feel like if I had somebody over my shoulder telling me exactly how to fucking do it, I would turn around and stab that person in the eye socket with a fork. It's already meticulous and pretty mundane enough. And then you have somebody commanding you how to do it.
I have something I have to share at this point of the show that's probably embarrassing, not to me, but for you to hear it. I am a huge Scrubs fan, so I follow Donald
Yeah, that's
Faison.
really embarrassing. Every fucking episode you're talking about Scrubs.
Okay.
Every goddamn episode.
I follow Donald Faison's social media accounts, and he loves stop motion and does his own stop motion just for his own, fuck
Really?
around time.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got his
Loves
own
it.
YouTube channel.
He puts it all over social media, and he kind of shows you how he does it and how long it takes, and he just absolutely loves stop motion.
I wonder if he's any good. I mean, he's creative. He's an actor, so he's got to have some, creative bones in his body.
He uses a lot of figurines, obviously like Star Wars figures and such, so I don't know how to judge stop motion. It looks good to me, but I'm
So it's more
normal.
like a pop culture-y compared to like something like this where they're making like weirdo figurines from like exoskeletons and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. It's super fucking meta. Like if you think about how this dude is like a geek for stop motion, and this movie is about a stop motion artist. I knew it was in there, but I guess I wasn't expecting it to be such a critical plot point of the movie,
Well, I think as the movie unfolds, and I'm not sure how deep we'll get into it, but a big part of this movie is just showing how much of yourself you can lose in your artwork or lose in your art. And as a stop motion, I mean, it's so slow. It demands so much of your attention to get it right.
Yeah, it's not something you can like listen to a podcast while you're doing.
Yeah,
something.
And the movie does a really good job just showing you, and it's because he is himself like a top notch stop motion animator, as far as I can tell, in my small corner of the stop motion.
Your 48 hours of fandom that you
something like that.
Right now.
Well, man, all right, don't even start with that shit. We've liked stop motion since we were kids.
No, I'm not ragging. I'm
Rudolph
saying to the point
is
of you respecting
fucking
it as
Rudolph,
like an art form.
Nightmare Before Christmas,
stop motion.
dude, Caroline, Kubo, all that
Frosty,
shit.
Coraline,
Fucking the Evil Dead.
Jack
Celebrity
Frost.
Deathmatch,
I just try to keep going with the Christmas.
Robot
films.
Chicken.
Yeah, let's don't pretend like we haven't watched this kind of shit and not enjoyed it before.
The Year Without a Santa Claus.
But I don't think we've looked at it as an art form necessarily before,
Yeah, and not in the circles of horror at the, you don't really see it very often.
Because like you said, it takes fucking years to make one of these. It took that dude
And
30
most
years
of your
to make
horror
something
movies
like
are
that.
made in like 2 months. Gotta pump them out, pump them out, pump them out, pump them out.
Little Drummer Boy.
This
There you go.
motherfucker's still going. He ain't even got to the damn Wallace and Gromit and all these fucking bullshit.
Let me list everything that studio ever fucking made. Chicken Little. Wasn't that fucking Zach Braff? God damn it. We're back to Zach Braff.
We're back. It's full circle, baby.
Fucking Paranorman, baby. Wait, do we want to talk about the steak at all right here?
Is this where she cuts it or refuses to cut it for?
Refuses to fucking cut it, and she just picks it up and eats it like a
Yeah.
goddamn barbarian.
I got a note.
Well, she pays for it soon.
We were talking about the meat earlier, and this is a scene I think where she kind of like is pissed at her mom, and she like cooked this thick ass, super tough ass steak that is not going to cut very well, let alone with a knife, and just leaves it for her arthritic ass hands to try to cut.
That made me.
that fucking thing down.
All right,
man.
we already know this woman's a cunt, or she's about to show her
She's a
cunty self.
perfectionist, man.
All right, did y'all feel bad when she just took her hands and started rubbing them on her like they were flippers?
Yeah.
Like she was at fucking SeaWorld or some shit trying to operate a goddamn knife.
Yeah, I hate to watch anybody suffer, even if they're an asshole in these
Yeah,
situations.
that made me feel bad.
My little heart just can't take it.
What's wild is she has like lobster boy hands. Like it actually looks like they're arthritic.
Yeah, some solid acting on her part.
I remember going to our local biscuit shop in town, Debbie's, and the women there had the crazy arthritic hands.
Knuckles, baby.
Looked like it hurt to even touch something.
All the older women, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Shit.
Yeah.
Jake Paul boxing Mike Tyson. No, box one of these fucking bitches.
Gives you all kinds of angles on your ass. You don't know where it's coming from.
Damn it, he'd be like fucking Cameron Poe with them knuckles. Like that damn nose bone in that brain.
That tender heart went right down the drain with that one.
Well, yeah, when it comes time to beat somebody's ass and make some money, Joy don't give a fuck. Put her in the ring.
After setting up her studio, Ella finds it hard to touch her mother's figures, let alone even contemplate executing her vision. Frustrated, she's met in the hall by a mysterious young girl whose curiosity and wonder of Ella's craft are a welcome distraction. Unimpressed by the mother-daughter duo's work so far, the child recommends a new story, one about a girl lost in the woods, a girl made of mortician's wax. Ella brushes off the idea of creating her own story and escorts her new friend out. Dwelling on what to do next, she habitually molds wax between her fingers in passing and blacks out. Coming to, she finds herself on the couch, the muted sounds of her boyfriend's voice echoing unanswered. Covered in dirt and sweat, she discovers her mother's set and figurines in ruins, and in their place, a scene of a thick, claustrophobic forest and a lost girl made of wax. Playing back what has been recorded so far, Ella finds a shadowy figure in pursuit of the lost child. A smile creeps on her face as she watches what she presumes is her work, finally crawling out of her mother's shadow. So, as you've been taking shots at people's names, let me take a shot at somebody's name here. The little girl, played by Keoeolin Springall.
Oh.
Is that?
I did not note her here because I didn't recognize any of her work. So
me neither. However, this little girl is sassy, boy. She drinks that fucking juice box and picks it up like the drop mic and fucking drops it. Dude, that shit was shit was savage.
I had it in my notes that ran all over me. I was pissed.
I will not have this.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, should Ella be mad about that? It's not really her apartment.
I mean, they were in like a trash heap, basically.
We're going to talk about her throughout the rest of the movie, but in terms of, I mean, we talked about how well Aisling was. Aisling was in her role, right? We've talked about how she did a pretty good job.
Fantastic.
This girl's really fucking good too.
Yeah, this kid is good. She was so good, I thought she was another actress. She has one of those faces too. I don't know if it's just me and British people, but apparently nothing. I haven't seen her in anything. She definitely seems seasoned though.
So also Ella's apprehension about working on her mother's project. It really starts to develop the character and show you just how much of a puppet she is for her mother. Like both figuratively, with her actually having to use her hands in place of her mother's, but also like metaphorically. Just because at this point it's been established her mom's like the shit, right? Her mom's like the biggest stop motion person in this universe.
Yeah, all the people like her creative friends are like, oh yeah, your mom's like the GOAT. We watched all her shit in school and she's our inspiration. You get to work with her every day. How lucky are you?
Be honest, boys, that preview of the Cyclops and the story of her seeing the end of the world and her dying, it's whack, man. It was whack.
You're crazy. That shit was really cool.
Where's the blood and the tits? But I did like how the girl came in and was like, this story's fucking lame. This is stupid. Why do you want to keep
I was right there with you, girl.
Oh, yeah. But I don't imagine like growing up in that sort of environment where you're never good enough, regardless of what you do.
It's one of those things where you have to choose a different path. It's just like Jordan's kids or LeBron's kids playing sports. You just can't. Just do something else, man.
Yeah, it's hard to do though. Like ever since you
or
were
Colin
small,
Hanks, for the
you're
love of
just
God.
fucking. You're thrown in.
Colin Hanks was in Dexter.
Colin Hanks. Oh shit.
Can he please find something else to do?
He's fine.
He's not fine at all.
I think he's fine. But yeah, just fine. Anything else. Because you can have unlimited funds to do anything but that. But I mean, then again, you have like your like Cronenberg's son, David Cronenberg's son. He like takes up the mantle and kind of extends his dad's work, puts his own little twist on it. But again, he's never gonna get out of that shadow.
Chris, I guarantee if mom had a bakery, your ass would be a baker right fucking now.
How about that? Making them biscuits.
But it depends on her level of success, though. If she was just like a mid-tier baker and I could have like my own fucking Food Network show, if I could be Guy Fieri, then I got something to aspire to. But if she's already like Guy Fieri,
don't you dare!
You ain't Babish.
You
ain't Babish, bitch. You ain't Babish. You might have a bald head and glasses, but you ain't Babish.
I got a wok the other day, motherfucker. Eat that.
You can't use a wok on an electric grill, electric stove, you
shows how
fucking
much
dummy.
You know. Baboosh,
Boy's a
whatever the fuck
savage.
you talking about, baboon, whatever you said.
What's
you
he
need
making?
gas.
Joy?
You need an open flame.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
God,
He making fried chicken, calling Asian.
First of all, you ain't putting that in a wok. You're doing like stir fries.
Maybe want some Panda Express, Chris.
I know, dude. Give me some of that honey shrimp. That honey shrimp, bro. Oh,
Double orange chicken, please.
it's got the pecans in it and the shrimp or the walnuts. I think. In the
What are
shrimp.
we talking about right now?
I don't know, but
yeah.
Panda Express makes me dump big ones.
Shadow of your parent. Yeah, it's tough, but again, I think it's if she is as good as they claim she is in this movie, that kid's just got to find something else to do with her life.
To that point, though, it's easy because common folks like us grow up and we have to find our own path because our parents had very normal jobs. But if your parent is a famous, crazy, otherworldly figure in whatever they're really good at, it shows you a path that you think you can also hold. Like, I'm sure LeBron James' kids thinks that. I'm sure does James Cameron have kids? I'm not sure, but I'm sure they think they could be James Cameron as well. Because
You
they
have a
see
leg
the
up
path.
in the industry, yeah, because you're like, oh, I got an in. Like, anything I'm going to want to do is going to get greenlit just because, like, no matter, like, Stephen King's kids all write books. I'm like,
Gotcha.
are you a good writer, or is it just a fact of...
Every editor in America.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm sure they developed and became good writers in their own right, but there was never a barrier for entry that the rest of us have to face. So I could see it both ways. There's definitely a lot of nepotism, and I can't say if I was the greatest director of all time that I wouldn't like want to put one of my kids in my movies.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword being put in that position. That's the way to look at it. I guess Catch-22 is the way to look at it as well. You have a leg up, but you're never going to be able to live up to expectations because there are expectations.
I guess in this particular instance, my advice for Ella is just get the fuck out. I don't think she's really that into it. Obviously, this is not good for her mental health.
Yeah, we start to notice.
We'll find out.
We start to notice around this time that she's not the most mentally sound.
She needs a social outlet.
Imagine her putting that shit on Instagram, man. They would like tear her down and be making fun of her ass.
She could have an OnlyFans account for what OnlyFans was supposed to be.
Exactly. You could do stop motion buttholes. That'd be fucking cool.
See? Now you're taking too far.
Speaking of stop motion buttholes, y'all need to watch Mad God.
Oh,
Dude, that's some wild ass
spoiler
shit.
alert.
Dude, there's wild ass shit and all that stuff. There's a scene.
That man.
There's a scene in that fucking movie where 3 concubines are jacking off a fucking minotaur.
What is happening?
It's fucking
Jesus
crazy,
Christ.
dude.
How long does this go on?
It's just like the dude's passing by. It might be, I don't know. Might be on the screen for a good
Passing by?
5 seconds.
It's just
You know how long that took to
And then the
take
bull,
to
and then the
set
bull
up?
nuts, and it goes.
Damn. All right.
Y'all gotta watch this fucking movie, Mad God. Check it out on all streaming platforms. The next day, Ella visits her mom, who's still unresponsive, and makes a decision to dive headlong into filming her own story. Casting the remnants of her mother's work into the trash, she heads back to her place and finds Tom's sister Polly waiting for her, offering her condolences. After viewing her friend's work, she recommends that Ella meet with her colleagues about the potential for collaboration. The two bid farewell soon after, and the precocious neighbor stops by once again. Although she's excited that Ella has taken her story suggestion, she's once again unimpressed by its execution. She insists that the lost girl transitions from wax to raw meat in exchange for telling the artist more of the story. Ella agrees and begins work on the new meat-covered armature as the child tells the story of the Ash Man who pursues the lost girl into a cabin where he will come knocking for 3 nights. After creating the new figure and filming the new scene, Ella climbs into bed and soon drifts away, only to be awoken by the sound of a knocking at her door. Outside, the young girl whisks Ella away into some nearby woods, proclaiming that the only way to really create the Ash Man is to use something dead, a fox carcass. Ella refuses. The little girl responds in kind, refusing to reveal the next part of the story. Ella, realizing that she cannot shape a story of her own, returns to her mother, confessing her inability to create. Here we meet Polly, a.k.a. that bitch. She is
That
fine.
She is played by, I'm going to say, this is a name I didn't look up how to pronounce, but to me it reads as Therica?
No, it's like Eureka. Eureka.
Therica?
It's like Eureka.
Eureka.
It's like Eureka.
What is it the fucking musicians say?
Eureka?
Eureka, but Therica.
Tarika Wilson Reed. She plays Sabrina on the TV show The Witcher.
Boy, she is smoking hot, but cannot touch Yennefer.
Yeah, there's very few Yens out there. Yen's always got my
Man,
heart.
God, that show.
Shout out to the Wild Hunt.
Dude, all right, let's talk about this. How bad did that show botch the casting of Triss Marigold? How fucking terrible was that?
The game was so much about which one are you going to choose, and then the show, I'm like,
The books is about like the fucking. Oh, they botched it. But nailed Yaskier, nailed Geralt.
Geralt of Rivia.
Dropped the fucking ball with Triss, bro.
Hootie has no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
I am so lost in Geek
The
Corner right
Witcher,
now.
baby. Fantasy Corner, baby.
It's one that ain't worth like going down the rabbit hole because it's like there's 3 seasons and after the first season it's fucking ruined.
Yeah, they janked it up. I bailed. As much as I read the books, played the game, bailed on the series. So
I know Henry Cavill is one very saucy man.
Henry is awesome. Henry's the best thing that happened to the series. So the Ash Man, I like this quote about the Ash Man. He's described as the man no one wants to meet.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, baby.
Like you're working at Target and your name is the man no one wants to meet. That'd be fucking awesome. But I think the 3 nights countdown that the little girl kind of introduces is super effective for the rest of the movie because it gives you like literally a numerical device for counting down to the fucking finale.
Oh,
of
it's
the movie.
fucking breadcrumbs.
And it's a childhood. It's a child telling a story, and I was like, that's what makes this good. The stop motion is good because it's a child story to me, you know. But it's also incredibly disturbing.
They have such good chemistry, man. Like in this scene, like going back and forth, like arguing and shit. It's they play really good off each other. Tom's hosting a party, and Ella arrives in search of Polly. There, she finds her, procures some acid in an attempt to overcome her failings as an artist. Seemingly tripping balls, she comes to the realization that the little girl is right, that the only way to create the Ash Man is using something dead. Meeting the little girl out in the woods, the two collect the cadaver and bring it back to Ella's apartment. The two work to create the new and improved Ash Man. And once finished, the story continues. On the first night, in her bungalow, he sees her. She tries to hide, but he sees her. As Ella takes the frame, the apartment door buzzer goes off 3 times. She peers out the window, the shadowy figure approaching from below. She rushes to the stairwell, catching a glimpse of a hulking figure making its way upstairs. She bounds back inside, bracing herself against the door in horror, the moist gush of exposed meat tissue growing louder with each methodical step towards her door. 3 booming knocks send her into a fit of terror, then silence. She rises to peer through the peephole and finds a large, bloodshot eye staring back at her. She tumbles backwards and passes out. Damn, this bitch need to eat something. She needs some sugar because she keeps on passing out.
Yeah, she takes a lot of A lot of falls to the floor in this movie.
I need some of them drugs.
Tripping your tits off, as they say.
Yeah, she
at
said.
the party.
Tripping your tits off.
What, she said, what was that you were saying to do to trip your fucking tits off? I want some of that.
I know I glossed over, but how fucking trippy was this sequence, man?
Getting high, dude. This was like my favorite fucking scene. I thought this was great, man.
It was so good.
The music was banging, too, in that scene.
Have y'all ever dropped acid?
No, but I mean, in this movie, it seems so fucking cool. I wanted to try it
Of
out.
all the descriptors I've heard, like, this scene really encapsulates what in my mind I pictured that would be like.
How would this guy make a movie that is not stop motion, like focused, because so much of this is about stop motion. And I think that scene alone just shows he knows how to set a tone. Camera work is great. The cinematography is good. I think it showed like a genuine cinematic sequence that had nothing to do with quote unquote his nifty animation tricks. So I loved it. I thought it was great.
Did y'all enjoy that she went full Art the Clown with the man's glass forehead?
Oh, that was so fucking cool, bro. When she's high and she's just fingering his fucking little head wound.
Yeah, you could tell like that was part of like this guy's effects work expertise, and the fact that he baked it into something that looked, I don't know, it's like so fucking cinematic. It was just a cool clash of his styles there. It was really great, man.
I'm not sure why, but the little girl kept giving me Art the Clown vibes. Because I had to watch that film thanks to you two.
Oh, we're gonna do a damn rewatch.
Oh, wait till the third. We're gonna do a fucking watch party for the third one.
We haven't even discussed this yet, so this is breaking news for the pod. But I think we should be able to rewatch things we've already watched if it's our choice. So let's make Hootie watch Terrifier 1 and 2 again, Joy.
Great.
Don't do that, because then you're gonna set us
Let's
up with
just
fucking labyrinth or some shit.
Get his ass.
And we're gonna be
Damn right.
This is gonna be a war of attrition. Who's gonna quit first? How many times can we watch those 3 movies in a row before somebody just faints?
I read an article about Terrifier 3, and supposedly the actor, I forget his name, who plays Art, there is a scene in the third film where he almost vomited on set, and it made even him squeamish. So
Damn, Hoodie's selling tickets, not even fucking meaning to it.
Damn, boy. I just pre-ordered.
Promo, let's go.
I just preed in my fucking shorts and pre-ordered.
you're welcome, Terrifier 3.
So yeah, this gets us through the party and kind of gets to more of like that loud ass knocking that we're hearing. What do you think about the sound design and a lot of this stuff?
Oh,
like
it's
how
so fucking good, huh?
It was coming out of her movie and into her life, and like she's like leaning into it. This is what was fucking cool. Like this person is losing their mind and they're like enjoying it in their art.
You can feel all this shit. You can feel like all these sounds. You can in your mind, you know exactly what the hell that sound is. You know what they used for that sound. Like, this shit's in your kitchen, you know what I mean?
I enjoyed when she would snap a picture and then knock on the door.
Yeah.
Immediately after that whole sequence was very cool.
I did like that she didn't get scared either. That's what I thought was kind of interesting. She was like, fuck this, I'm going in, It's like watching someone pound themselves into fucking madness. And as far as like the creature effect coming up the stairs, that wasn't necessarily like my favorite bit.
I would say I was confused, but for the most part of this film, I was pretty confused.
I mean, at this point, are we realizing that she's fucked in the head? Like we've seen like how her mother's affected her in terms of like her artistic ability, but in terms of her psyche, like this is like really the first cracks where it's like, is this real?
Or is this like how she perceives her work while she's just doing regular old stop motion, but in her mind, she's in the fucking story, Like that's her method for getting this stuff recorded. Because every day when she goes through this crazy shit, she passes out and wakes up, she's got new footage that looks great. Like someone had to have animated it if we're watching it, right?
When I first started watching the movie, I had a sneaking suspicion that she was either bipolar or had multiple personality disorder, because the movie starts out very, in my opinion, kind of corny. She's in like a rave or something, and
all the stop motion at the beginning.
Well, it's not stop motion, but it's like a fucking
It's
a
strobe lights.
strobe light, and every time the strobe would go off, she would like change her face expression. So that kind of put me in mind that she may have been like schizophrenic or some shit.
Yeah, I think that was highlighting like real life stop motion because I mean, essentially, a stop motion sequence. It's just a bunch of still images sliced together, but it's showing you it with real people, you know. And she is the protagonist in the story and of her own story.
Have we talked about the egg yet? Because I was completely confused.
Well, all right, with
the
the movie actually starts with the egg shot. However,
yeah,
we're not quite to the egg.
Okay.
We'll get there. I'm definitely gonna mention it. Tom awakes Ella the next day, where she reveals she didn't take the acid after all. Fearing for her own safety and sanity, she decides to bunk with Tom to escape whatever fate the Ash Man has planned for her. After more fucked up visions and dreams, the two grab breakfast where Ella spots a familiar face. Seeking refuge in a bathroom stall, she's approached by the little girl who reveals the next part of the story. On the second night, he touches her. Back at Tom's place, Ella comes to the conclusion that the only way she may be able to get this story out of her head is to finish it. Refusing to just let her go back, Tom has his sister employ Ella to try and distract her from her episodes. It's here at the studio that Ella discovers her work, replicated and stolen by Polly. In a fit of rage, she destroys what she can of the scene before being escorted out. At the hospital, she converses with her unconscious mother, further demonstrating her fractured psyche. Determined now to be the one to dictate how her story goes, she returns to the apartment and changes the outcome of the second day, in spite of the little girl's objections. On the second night, the girl escapes. Upon recording the new scene, Ella notices something in the dirt of the set. The lights flicker, tables shake, and in that dirt, a wet, glassy eye. The Ash Man crawls from the soil, pursues her, her legs snapping and bending like wax. She tries to escape, but is caught, touched by the Ash Man, who expels a black egg from his mouth, feeding it to the artist, who almost takes it willingly. Writhing in pain on the floor, she sees the little girl, who has only one thing to say before Ella passes out. I told you.
Yeah, talk about that egg, baby.
I'm here about that egg, brother.
Okay. All right. Here we go. This whole movie, I have no idea how this woman makes money. And she gets a job to which she pretty much on purpose gets thrown out of. So she's back to making zero money.
Well, here's the thing. She doesn't make money, but then again, she doesn't have to pay for shit. She relies on fucking everybody. Relies on her mama. When she ain't relying on mama, she's relying on Tom. When she ain't doing that, she's eating goddamn fox carcasses out of the woods.
How about that?
Eggs symbolize what? Rebirth? Or I guess birth,
Life.
right? Life.
Protein.
Creation.
Protein. A delicious
Protein.
snack.
So you know you're eating an unborn child when you eat those chicken eggs, right?
Well, them some bitches are delicious.
So do you have a theory for like what that symbolizes, like the actual when he feeds it to her? And she kind of takes it willingly, right?
Oh, she takes it.
She fucking takes it.
That
Yeah,
rubber
I mean-
black egg.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, we see this like black ass egg, and I know for me, when the little girl's kind of telling her like the sequence of the story, like a man watches her, the next day he touches her, and that's kind of what we're seeing played out on screen and projected on the screen, actually happening to Ella, and that's when she gets the whole lick on the face and puts the egg in her mouth. So I took it as like some kind of metaphor for a sexual assault that she was repressing, you know.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Oh, shit. I didn't go that far.
Something from her past that she's trying to like work through, because at this point when we see the little girl popping up, you kind of get the idea of it's this childhood story, right? Like it's a story from someone's childhood, and it's always focused on this man chasing this little girl. We'll get more into it later with the reveal, but the stop motion legs, man, that was fucking cool.
I didn't really go into it. This movie, all right. This is another example of one of those movies. Okay, I my notes. Yeah, I'm the most fucking guy to talk about every single aspect. There's so much I'm leaving out. Just because
the effects works all banging.
The effects works, you can't really describe it. You can't do it justice like describing it this way. You gotta watch this.
Them jelly legs, man. That
She's
shit
like,
fucks
she's
with me.
made out of wax in this sequence. Like, she falls over and she becomes a fucking wax doll. Like, it kind of plays into the whole thing of her being, she's not her own person. She's a puppet, you know, she's a puppet or whatever. But her turned into wax is like, okay, her mother has spent her whole life crafting her. Now, the little girl's crafting her with her own story. So to see it like play out like this, and the Ash Man chasing her is just, I don't know, it's a really interesting sequence right here.
Yeah, it's definitely visually memorable, creepy, and it's cool to see like stop motion interacting with the real world here. It's got like that dream logic and all that good crazy David Lynch shit going on that I like.
I did not enjoy how wild this scene eventually got.
Do you feel like that took away from your appreciation of the effects and all that shit that was going down? The gore
It's very good
to it?
effects. I'm in my review of this film. The effects are fantastic, but following the story for a simpleton like myself was a struggle.
Did we talk about the shower scene?
Oh, the wax leg.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For everybody at home, I don't mean to see titties or nothing like that.
They thought it. They thought it.
Oh,
Very
baby.
tasteful scene.
It was coming. But yeah, that fucking scene where she reaches down and she rubs her legs and just pulls.
Starts fingering like her quad muscle.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah, it was intense. My damn shorts was intense.
Oh, she's
Like,
fingering
it's like
herself.
I was in the fucking woods, baby.
she's-
It was straight tense.
She's pulling viscera and tissue out of her leg, Joey. I don't know what's exciting about that.
Hey, some of us get down different ways than others, brother.
To each
This
his
is
own.
where I realized she was losing her damn mind.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everything I discussed here, we didn't really talk about it, but the conversation she has with her mom. Obviously, her mom is unconscious. This is all in her head. The conversation she's having with her mother. Her mom has such a good line here where she talks about how they both have a morbid imagination. Her mother can control it and put it into her art. Ella can't control it, so the art controls her. It kind of sets up the next, 30, 40 minutes of the movie.
She is poppet. Well, she's been damaged. I think is kind of what the directors wants you to see. Like, this person has been used by everyone around her at this point, and she's a shell of other people's expectations. Literally a fucking puppet, an empty.
She hasn't been allowed to have an imagination like her entire life. Imagine being raised as an artist, but you don't have the outlet to.
She doesn't have the experience
express
to
yourself.
create her own art. Yeah,
Yeah, you're literally expressing your mother's vision.
she doesn't have a life to pull from.
The next morning, Ella wakes to the beeps and boops of a hospital bed after being found wandering around her apartment building with a gaping wound on her thigh. Tom confronts her about everything that's going on, and after a lover's quarrel, the two decide to go back to the flat the next morning and end the madness together. Before that happens, however, Susan, Ella's mother, finally passes. In her room, Ella silently bids her goodbye, and the little girl beckons her back to the apartment. Breaking in with a fire extinguisher, Ella does what she should have a few nights ago, strangles the living shit out of this little girl. However, she's got infinite respawns and reappears. Comforting Ella, she weeps and continues her downward spiral. In order to finish the film, the child beckons Ella to put herself even more so into her work by tearing the flesh from her body and adding it to the figures. Biting down on a rubber hose, she tears open her stitches and begins pulling apart the tissue. With meat chunk in hand, the sound of keys interrupts the carnage as Tom and his sister, Polly, enter the room. It's been getting wild at this point. It's about
Shit's
to get
cranking up.
It's about to get
11,
fucking
baby.
cranked up.
You know when it got wild, Joey? Is when she called Tom a shitty artist.
Boy, she said,
You're
you
not a
don't make.
fucking musician.
All right, this whole time we see Tom's apartment. There's guitars everywhere. He hints at, yeah, I make music and shit like that.
I don't let
I
it consume me
out.
though.
You don't make music, Tom. You put on a suit and you go to work. Fucking
Got 'em.
burn. As an artist, that's the burn. You are a corporate fucking shill. You piece of shit, bro. I mean, wait, hold on, please.
Hold up now.
Oh, pause.
Freudian.
It's about to get fucking wild, man. This whole cutting yourself thing, man, or not cutting yourself.
Yeah.
I think it's worse. You're tearing open stitches. That's worse, right?
Stitches shit looks real.
Oh, it's so good, man.
It tripped me out how real that looked.
As someone who constantly had stitches in your youth,
Yeah.
you're kind of an expert on that, huh?
Yeah, how gross and nasty and sticking to your skin they get and how they can bust. Ugh.
What exactly did she pull out of her thigh, though? I couldn't figure out what she had in her hand.
Sinew, baby.
Just a piece of tissue from like her muscle.
I think it was just like skin flakes.
She was going deeper than the skin. She was pulling out some like muscle fibers.
Yeah, she's
I think.
pulling that shit out, boy. I'm sitting there and I'm watching,
Shit
and I'm
that
like,
would really hurt.
she's biting on the rubber hose, and I'm like, this bitch ain't gonna tie this leg off. She wasn't tying the leg off. That wasn't a tourniquet. She was biting on it so she didn't break her fucking teeth.
Yeah, it was a teeth thing, I believe. But I was worried up to this point because I'm like, all right, there's 20 minutes left. I was like, I'm digging this. This could end like on a soft whatever, and I'd be fine. They're going to fucking hate it if there's not some crazy shit going down here, though. The shit got fucking crazy.
Oh, it got wow.
I had a note here. It says, Joy, you love some torture porn bits.
Oh, baby, you know me,
And she's selling it. The actress she's fucking selling it, man.
dude. There's scenes here where she's gritting her teeth so fucking hard, it looks like she's about to break her teeth. I really, really, really like this actress.
Well, we haven't established yet to this point. I mean, I don't know if y'all even caught it, but the little girl obviously is not a real person.
Oh yeah. I think she knew that.
Yeah, that's why she strangled her to kind of prove a point, right?
Yeah, she's literally popping up in the most convenient places, or the restaurant, her mom's place, or the hospital. Just
The
she
party
knows.
she dropped acid at.
Are you of the mind that this is a younger version of herself?
This is her younger version before her mom like cucked her of all her ideas and her freedoms
Right.
as an artist. That's
So we
what
agree
I
that
got.
this is her younger self telling her adult self this story.
Yeah.
Of these 3 nights. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. That's all I wanted to establish for now.
But the crazy part is she goes from following her mom to following the little girl. Sure, it might be what you have deep down and what you want to do deep down, but you're still following somebody else's shit.
This is a story of a girl.
This is
Don't start. You got it. We'll find that VHS motherfucker dancing, just fucking dancing on a trampoline, just going in circles.
Can you take me higher? Joy said, put on the 3 doors down, please.
Talk about my kryptonite, please. I love kryptonite.
Joey and his fucking whitey tighties doing kryptonite. If I go crazy. Ew, he's got
Bop
little
him
dick
with
holes in his
Call me
underwear.
Super Mario.
Big
Why
ass
you
white
got
man
dick holes in
fro.
your underwear? You're only 10.
I can see Joey dropping a damn jukebox in the middle of the room and look at your ass, Chris. About what, bitch?
Pick up that high C, motherfucker.
Start
You gotta
doing
tell
the-
anybody.
Just start doing the worm and shit. All I'm really just doing is throwing the front up and then the legs up. Just doing this, not even going nowhere. doing
What's
that.
wrong with him? But yeah, I did like the bit too where she was with her mom's like unconscious body and she's like snapping pictures like stop motion. of
Oh,
her mom.
dude, I had a note here. That's some of the creepiest shit in the movie.
That was creepy, man.
That was
This
fucking, and it was
person is
it was such a
crazy.
small, minute thing.
It kind of made me want to do it on my own though. I was like, I could do this with my fucking cell phone.
Gee, that's fucking creepy as fuck.
Not to like somebody who's asleep, but to like.
What you gonna do? You gonna
anything.
do like you stroking your dick? You gonna do damn stop motion?
No, I could make like a Pepsi can do like a dance or something. You know, that'd be cool.
You're such a fucking nerd.
It's Donald Faison, baby. I'm inspired.
Just call Faison.
Mad guy.
The duo restrains Ella and try to carry her downstairs. The camera's tripod grasps in her hand, but she fights back, kicking Polly in the face, pushing Tom down to the stairwell, knocking him out cold. A brief scuffle with Polly results in Ella going John Jones with the ground and pound, ending with one of the spiked tripod poles through the blonde's neck. Her brother isn't far behind, as Ella pins his nose and mouth shut with her hands, suffocating him to death. Now with 2 fresh corpses, the artist constructs her masterpiece, a pair of 3-foot tall figures out of human flesh. one lost girl, one Ashman. The fun-sized Ashman, however, instead of playing out the scene, chases Ella into her wardrobe. Upon knocking 3 times, the king-size Ashman enters and begins to devour the artist who has become wax. At the house in the woods, in a dreamlike state, Ella finds the little girl, watching their finished movie, with the dying Ella on screen capturing her last frames. As she dies, the little girl smiles with approval. "I love it," she says, as Ella returns the smile, climbing into a trunk lined like a casket in golden velvet. So ends the bizarre tale of 2024's Stop Motion. Alright, so that sounded like word salad. That was word salad at the end right there. It was really hard to describe what the fuck happens in that climax.
That's what happens, though. I'll give you that.
I'm right there with you, brother.
That's what happens.
Death by Tripod was fucking awesome, dude. I've never seen that before. That was cool.
Dude, in my opinion, better still, how she killed Tom. It was a callback to earlier in the movie when he was snoring and she woke him up by pinching his nose.
Cyclical, I like that.
Dude, that was so fucking cool, bro. And the way she's...
Very nice.
This is where she's gritting her teeth. Like, she's physically having to fight this grown-ass man who's hurt, but still a man, and she's gritting her fucking teeth.
Suffocating that bitch.
But here's the thing. It's not. It doesn't come from a place of hatred. It's coming from a place of fucking madness and that dedicated to putting out your story, your movie, your work as an artist. It's wild, man.
I had to note that I'm pretty sure he broke his spine in that fall down the stairs because he can't move anything on his body. 'Cause he should be able to fight back is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, he's half a mercy killing at this point, I think.
Tell you what, that dick still work, girl.
Dick hard as a rock. That'd be a way to go, man. Getting suffocated with your back destroyed and your dick hard as a rock.
Hard as diamonds.
What a last day on earth. So she drags those 2 bodies back to her apartment.
Very slowly.
Very slowly. Little girl goes, 2 bodies are even better. And what do we know from Pet Sematary, boys? Sometimes dead is better.
Don't go down that road down there. That's a dead road over there.
I love the little girl in this sequence, though. She's like so like Tyler Durden, pig and shit, happy that Ella has lost her fucking mind. She's like, "Oh, you're doing great work there." She was like full on Dexter with like a fucking chainsaw and these motherfucking 2 people she's loved up to this point. You think?
So what did you get out of this scene where, all right, she's created the new figures for
meat puppets
for the climax for the new puppets, I guess, and then the Ashman goes off script, and the little girl who the whole time has been like, all right, it plays out this way, and every time that Ella has set up the scene to play out that way, it has. But here she is visibly disturbed that it's not playing out, yet the Ashman is animated. Do we feel like at this point, Ella is the one kind of calling the shots, and it's playing out this way because she has taken the reins. She's kind of taking control of her fate.
Yeah, I think kind of going back to what I said my theory is just like a seed of an idea, maybe of a story she heard or had as a kid, and she took that, and of course she never got to make that movie because she's been her mom's puppet this whole time, and now it's finally her opportunity. The end of the story essentially is the adult Ella finally becoming the storyteller, you know, and like what's the craziest shit a performance artist could do? You fucking film your own death, you know. So that's essentially what ends up happening. The art consumes her. She makes herself the puppet again. She becomes her own fucking puppet master, essentially. That's how I kind of looked at it.
So by becoming wax and feeding herself to the Ashman.
Yeah, she's feeding herself to the art, I think is kind of how I looked at it.
The art consumes her at this point. Well, the thing is, too, like, she willingly offers it. She's literally, like, peeling her face. The egg, all right, the egg comes back into play. The egg cracks. And you know, whatever fucking imagery, whatever metaphor it stands for, whatever. She's literally, like, pulling her face off in piles of wax and offering it willingly to the Ashman.
Uh-huh.
Little exposition for the people at home who were like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I still know what you're talking about.
It's definitely weird. I think the egg, it was like her idea of the story originally. And when she finally cracked the idea, it was her cracking the fucking egg. Because, eggs, something that grows and creates or whatever. So she had the idea, and it grew to this point, and then it was finally mature. Her idea essentially was to record her own death.
Well, she cracked it before it could become a full chicken. So
yeah, she definitely lost her fucking mind. But I mean, that's how many times have we seen movies about people losing their mind to their pursuit of perfection? Isn't that what like fucking Whiplash is about?
It's
right?
not even a thing that's exclusive to movies. I mean, this is real life shit. Like the dude who painted the Scream, Edward Munch. It's probably Munch or some shit.
Munch.
Dude, he suffered like hallucinations and just general madness. Van Gogh cut off his fucking ear because of his melancholia. And then Beethoven, that dude was bipolar. I mean, genius has the habit of going hand in hand with badness.
Yeah.
This is like real life shit.
And I think this is like the ultimate testament to madness, like when it comes to film and animation, like what's the craziest shit you can do? Like you were talking about a dude hammering his dick to the ground or whatever. Like this lady's killing herself.
A table. How can you hammer your dick to the ground?
I don't fucking know the physics.
It ain't a
of dick
steak,
smashing.
motherfucker. This ain't like he's putting up a
You
tent.
didn't say how big it was.
I mean, for a claymation thing, I guess it's like normal size.
Okay.
So we are to believe that all of this imagery is just her killing herself.
At the end of the day, the last frame of her movie, I think, is that, yeah. And that's why we see it played back that way for the little girl. Because there's no stop motion involved in the final clip they watch on her laptop, right? It's just her laying in the floor.
That's true. Okay.
Well, every interaction too with the Ash Man up to this point, when he becomes like real, when he becomes more than a goddamn doll, she's in like a fever dream. She's in like it's just mad. It's literally crazy shit. It is what's happening to demonstrate that she's not of the right mind.
All right, fellas. Put a little bit of stop motion in a rear view. Let's put a bit of memorabilia in our fore view. What are we taking home with us from this bad boy? From a movie filled with props. What you want to take home? Put on your dresser.
Man, let me get one of them pickled eggs that Ella had the privilege of sucking on. That's been around since Penrose,
Did not
baby.
expect this.
That shit's been around since Penrose.
Oh, shit. I missed the damn Penrose hot sausages. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The hell is Penrose?
You're
They used
crazy.
to make them
Get the
pickled
fuck out
sausages, dog.
Fuck.
The factory like blew up.
Get
back
my
in,
mouth
like,
watering just
05.
thinking about it.
This is like a Vienna sausage?
No. Hell no. It ain't nothing like a Vienna sausage. Hell no.
Hell no.
They're pickled sausages, dog. That's some real
Pickles?
redneck shit right there.
Here's the thing. They have a bunch of them nowadays that's made by Hannah's and all these other fucking trash ones.
Knockoff shit.
They ain't got the snap. Penrose had the fucking snap when you bit into it.
Hanna-Barbera
Hot
can't be
pink
having a
weenie
snap.
style.
Hanna-Barbera, that motherfucker made Scooby-Doo.
Yogi Bear?
Raggy?
Well, I mean, I thought we would all kind of take a doll from this, but apparently that was not on the table. For me, I feel like for this film, you have to take a doll. The whole concept of these little figurines. So in that case, give me the figurine that wasn't trying to kill anybody, and that was the innocent, polite Cyclops doll, which I thought looked pretty badass.
Imagine how annoying that would be hammering on a goddamn anvil every fucking day. I'm gonna hear that.
Every day.
That was her life, man. She was looking for Mr. Cyclops. Yeah, I'm in line with Hootie here, but I'm actually going to take the stripped-down exoskeleton of the Cyclops so I can make my own cool-ass meat puppets. I really like the articulation that was built into like the damn Wolverine skeleton that she had. That was pretty cool. All right, boys, grade book's out. Time to give Mr. Robert Morgan his grades before we send him off onto his next project. Mr. Hootie, how'd you feel about this one?
Stop motion is one of the few horror films that we have covered that, one, I've never seen before, and two, grew with me in the days after the first viewing. When I first watched this film, I was hypercritical. However, over the coming days, it finally clicked somewhat, besides the ending. The script has some original pieces and a clear artistic touch, but the story has lots of plot holes, and the stop motion pieces could have looked better in some spots, in my opinion. Overall, if you want to sit down and watch an artistic horror film, like we all know Chris loves to do,
Damn right.
I would recommend this as a watch. But for me, not really into the artsy-fartsy horror films, I give it a C.
I am retroactively claiming stop motion as a birthday gift in place of The Exorcist Part 2. Up top, the stop motion animated scenes are just freaking cool to look at. Art coming to life. I love it. I dig it. Always about some psychological horror, even under the pretense of the overdone, quote-unquote, starving artist falls to madness plot that I've seen a million times. The music and cinematography build the exact tone I was hoping for watching that preview 2 weeks ago. Our lead actress, I'm going to repeat her name for you boys again, Aisling Franciosi, is great, and I am on the hook for whatever Robert Morgan wants to do next. My biggest question ties to the meta of a stop-motion artist making a movie about a stop-motion artist. Where does Morgan go from here in making movies that utilize his unique skill set? Either way, I love this one. Glad to have watched it. Mr. Robert Morgan, you leave my class with a B+, good sir.
So yeah, I've always had a fascination with stop motion and claymation. As I said earlier, the original Evil Dead, Coraline, Kubo, Clash of the Titans, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, even Nightmare Before Christmas. As much as I don't consider it a favorite of mine by any means, I can appreciate and view it with a childlike wonder at the medium used to create it. And a master of that medium just so happens to be stop motion's director, Robert Morgan. For a full-length directorial debut, 2024 stop motion checks a lot of boxes for me. It's got the raw carnage I crave, the gore I desire, and the terror that daddy's gotta have. Aisling Franciosi and
Franciosi.
Kaylin Springhall, have great chemistry together and deliver in their roles, with the arc of Ella playing out in a satisfying, albeit admittedly tropey sort of way. The audio department, man, you can feel the wet, bloody slosh of meat. You can feel the pounding in your chest of the plodding footsteps and deliberate knocks. Your heartstrings being plucked and twisted and manipulated by the artfully crafted score with its light but tone-setting touch. The ambiguous nature of the film, leaving its viewers deep in thought and conversation about what they just witnessed and its meaning, searing itself in your consciousness for days. And that leaves us with the star of the show, the stop motion and imagery itself. Therefore, for lack of a better term, they're awe-inspiring. Watching the form of art that has enthralled me since I was a kid play out in a horror film over the course of its entirety left me craving more, even as the credits rolled. However, as much as I like stop motion for its uniqueness and ability to leave you with more questions than answers, that very same concept can just as easily be perceived as a flaw. Your general audience, in my opinion, is going to lean more towards not enjoying what Mr. Morgan has to offer. A slow burn, borderline highbrow, elevated art house style horror that practically begs the audience to hang in there, to have patience for the inevitable payoff, which in my opinion the movie does, but to many others it will not, and for that will be seen as pretentious and incoherent. Regardless, even if you don't appreciate the film for what it is, you have to respect director Robert Morgan for not compromising his vision and the execution of his big screen debut. Y'all know me. I'm a simple southern boy. I can't sit here and pretend I understood a goddamn thing about what I just watched. But damn it, I had a good time watching it. 2024 stop motion grades out with a B.
We are one and the same, Joy.
There we go.
Good choice by you.
Hey, just show me fun, creepy shit, and I'm good.
Show me some boobies and some blood.
Oh my god,
man.
if this thing had titties, it'd have been an A.
Show me that pumpkin head, two blood wings.
If it would have had a set of C's, it would have been an A. You know what I mean?
Audience fan score guesses from Rotten Tomatoes. Joy was a non-participant since this was his choice. 65 was my guess. Hootie said a 72. The actual audience score on this bad boy is at a 52.
Wow.
Ooh.
Dude, that's as close as like a split as we can get. I mean, I guess a 50 is, yeah, but once again, divisive.
Yeah, I think critics have it in the fresh category, so have with that what you will. Looks like it's random wheel time, boys.
Oh.
Random wheel has basically just become my pick because I cannot seem to swing
Spin that
correctly on
wheel.
these.
Spin that wheel. Spin that
We'll call
wheel.
it the Hootie wheel going forward. $1985, baby, Fright Night.
Ooh, Fright Night.
Oh, this was one Joy even propped up on our Halloween episode, right?
Yeah, this is a personal favorite. I love this movie.
On our October
Chris Sarandon,
recommendations
man. That
episode.
guy is such a fucking hunk.
Is that Jack Skellington? You do the voice of Jack?
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to hop on YouTube and watch the trailer. If you want to catch our reactions, hop on our YouTube channel. We will have it posted there, and we will be right back. All right, boys, that's the trailer. That's next assignment for the three of us to take a gander at. So while we do that, let's take a stab at this Rotten Tomato audience score guesses. Anyone new to the show, we all take a guess. If anybody's within 5 points, they get to choose what we watch next. Otherwise, we're relegated to our loser wheel yet again. I'm going to say this is at an 8-0 audience score. 80.
See, I was thinking 80s too, but people.
Oh,
don't
yeah,
go
you
like
guessed mine
hard.
before me. Oh, fuck.
Fuck you, man. Hootie, you better get this fucking right.
I know. I'm going to go 72.
Oh, man, this is, I'm going Price is Right rules. I'm going to go with a 0. Let me,
$1, Bob.
let me, you know what? I'm going to swing low, Sweet Chariots on this one. Let's go 65.
Alrighty, folks. Thank you for listening. Check out the website, horriblefilmschool.com. You can find links to any old podcast platform you would like to listen to us on. You can check out our Instagram. There should be a link to it there as well as the merch store. Get you a coffee mug or a t-shirt. Give us a follow everywhere you can. Leave a review wherever else you can. They go a long way for spreading the word. We are grassroots as they come, so we would appreciate it. Send us some fresh cuts of prime meats. We love our meat around here. I'm going to say goodbye and offer my support to women posing dead things in dark rooms. Have a break, get some fresh air, and take care of yourself.
As always, as Chris just said, we're grassroots. If you listen to the show, spread the word, spread the love. Tell at least one person that you know about the podcast. And let's go back to the 80s, man. Big hair, trench coats, become vampires with Fright Night. And I'm out.
Thanks for all the likes, the subs, the listens, the follows, the downloads. We really appreciate you guys and gals' support, as well as your time and attention. Be sure to join us next time when we can't stop salivating over Chris Sarandon in 1985's Fright Night. Class dismissed.